Hey, fourth grade, welcome back to the math videos. We're going to try to have these up for you most days again, but let's get ready to move on because I'm going to keep it short. Today we're going to be talking about products, factors, and factor pairs, and what a factor pair is, and how a couple different ways that we can show them and how to get them. That's a lot, but it's going to be easy. So first of all, you guys already know what this is. This is an equation. So you guys know that. That's half the battle. This is an equation, and factors are just the two numbers being multiplied. So this is a factor, and this is a factor. 3 and 4 are the factors, while 12 is the product. It's what you get when you do these two things. So we have factored, and a product. And a lot of times, to make things simple, when you have these two together, we like to call them a factor pair. So if you have two together, this is a factor pair. So I'm going to erase this. If you need to come back to it and watch it again, you can. But factor, product, the two of them together is a factor pair. Sometimes you'll see people write them like this. They'll say, what are the factor pairs of 12? And so it's the two numbers that you can break apart that would equal 12. So we'd have a 3 and a 4. Some of you might see some other ones. You might, over here, you might say, well, Mr. B, I see a 1 and a 12. That factor pair multiplies to get 12. You might even see another one. Some people will say, Mr. B, 2 and 6 are factor pairs. If you multiply those two together, you get 12. So these are factor pairs. You can also flip them, and you can have 12 and 1 as factor pairs, or 4 and 3, 6 and 2. If the numbers are flipped, they're still the same factor pair, but it is a different multiplication problem. So that is factor pairs. I'm going to show you a way to represent them. I'm going to hit pause, and when I come back, the board will be all different, and I'll explain it. So hold on. All right, welcome back. I told you the board's going to be a little bit different. I know it's a little bit hard to see in some spots, but I have a 12 square by 12 square board. So I have 12 by 12. If you want to draw this out, you can. Otherwise, you can just watch. I'm going to give you a chance to pause when we get to it. But this is another way that we can show factor pairs. So if you want to go ahead and hit pause to draw this out, go ahead, you can now. All right, welcome back. Hopefully, if you wanted to, you had a chance to draw out a 12 by 12. If you didn't, that's okay. So we're going to find factor pairs again. And one of the ways we can do that is we can make boxes or rectangles that have 12 in them. It can't be an odd shape. It can't be like down here and then around here like this. It has to be a square or a rectangle, and it has to have 12. So I'm going to use red here, and I'm just going to start off with one that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So some of you guys might recognize this and say, hey, that looks like an array. That is exactly right. This is actually a little array right up here that we made that has a product of 12. So now we need to find its factor pairs, or another word for that is its dimensions. So what are the dimensions of this square? If you're coloring it, I'll give you a chance to color it in real quick or hit pause. But we have a dimension of 3 by 4. This is our factor pair. We have 12 total here in the middle, and our dimensions are 3 by 4. Can we come up with another? And remember, like I said before, you can switch it around, so it can be 3 by 4 or 4 by 3. What are another way we could draw this? How about this one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's a 12 in total. What are my dimensions for this one? That's right, it's a 2 by 6. So these right here, the dimensions, make up the factor pair for 12. Again, we have a rectangle or a square shape. We're not having an odd shape with a whole bunch that go down here and some that don't. Can we think of one more that might work? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is a 12 by 1. And that is the factor pairs of 12. So you can visually represent these using arrays. So this is a 4 by 3. I could also do a 3 by 4. So it's the same as this one, it's just 3 by 4. We changed the dimensions, which way the dimensions are. But again, that's a factor pair of 12. One last thing I want to show you guys on how to find factors of a number, or factor pairs I should say. Factors is one part, factor pairs are both numbers together. So I'm going to stick with the number 12. And we have to come up with two numbers that find number 12. I call this one the rainbow method because we all know the easiest two numbers that you can multiply to get 12 are a 1 and a 12. Those are going to be my ends of the rainbow, so I like to make this my biggest part. Now I can go to the next number and I can write down a 2. And I think to myself, is there any number times 2 that would equal 12? And it's 6, so I'm going to write that right next to my other numbers. I'm just going to put little commas here so you know they're not the same. 6 times 2 equals 12. And I'm just slowly filling this in. Is there a number that equals, or that 3 can multiply by? And I'm going to put 3 times 4 is 12. And we go here. I already have a 4 up here, so I don't need to write a 4. Is there any number times 5 that equals 12? A whole number. I can't think of any, so 5 is not a factor, or it doesn't have a factor pair that goes with 12. So these are, and I can't go, I know 7 doesn't, and an 8 doesn't, and a 9, 10, and 11 don't. So you only have to look for numbers that are within 1 and a 12. So that's where all the factors are going to be. So we have factor pairs of 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, and 4. And a rainbow is kind of cool. You can also do it the other way around as well. So like the arrows can go each way. So I can also have 12 and a 1, 6 and a 2, and a 4 and a 3. These are the same factor pairs, just in a different order. If this is a little bit confusing, that's okay, because we are going to go over this whole group and you're going to get a chance to do it individually as well. We're going to be working on this for most of the week, so hopefully this helps. Hang on with us and we will get it soon. See you next time.